This is Griff Dog here, and these are the top 10 moments from 2005. 2005 is going to be the final season for 3 drivers. Those 3 drivers are Rusty Wallace, Ricky Rudd, and Dale Earnhardt. Rusty Wallace is going to start up his own team, Ricky Rudd is going to go back to his home in North Carolina, and Dale Earnhardt is going to take over role of his race team. We will miss these drivers, and thank you for an amazing career that all 3 of you have had. In the Aaron's 499 at Talladega, Brian Vickers goes up and over into the catch fence and onto the track. Vickers' car was destroyed and it took out at least 15 cars. Here is an onboard from Jamie McMurray's car. You can see the car go up and over and through the air. The wild rides continue at Indianapolis. Tony Stewart gets into Rusty Wallace and he goes up and over many times on the back straightaway. He gets clobbered by Ken Schrader in the end. Tony Stewart is okay, but you can't say the same thing with his car. In an upset, Scott Pruitt, driving another Chip Ganassi car, drives by Tony Stewart on the final lap and he captures his first career win at Infineon. This would be his only win in 2005. In the first night race at Phoenix, Joe Nemechek, Casey Mears, Ryan Newman, and Kurt Busch had a close finish at the end of this race. Lap traffic got in the way of Joe Nemechek, and that let Casey Mears and Ryan Newman duke it out to the finish. Casey Mears wins by half a car length over Ryan Newman. With the exception of Infineon and Indy, Tony Stewart won every race in the summer, including Michigan, New Hampshire, and the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. The race at Daytona was Tony Stewart's first ever win at the historic 2.5 mile superspeedway. Ricky Rudd's final year went off with a bang. In the first race at Martinsville, Ricky Rudd was able to coast to his final win of his career. Even though Ricky Rudd won this race, he would end up missing the chase and would finish 15th in points. In an intense battle of the Daytona 500, Dale Earnhardt slips up the track, and that lets room for Rusty Wallace to battle side by side all the way to the line. And Dale Earnhardt would win by just a nose. This is his second Daytona 500 victory, and it comes in his farewell season. Like Ricky Rudd, Dale Earnhardt was able to win a race, but Dale Earnhardt also ends up missing the chase. He ends up missing the chase by 80 points, and Dale Earnhardt would end up finishing 14th in standings at the end of the year. One of the most heated rivalries happened in 2005. It was between Dale Earnhardt and a young kid by the name of Kyle Busch. Kyle tried making a name for himself, but Dale Earnhardt did not take any of that. And those two ended up having a heated battle where they took each other out in numerous races, even having a confrontation at Richmond. The last of it though happened at the Pepsi 400 at Daytona, where Dale Earnhardt spins out Kyle Busch, causing a big crash. Because of this, NASCAR had to settle down both Kyle Busch and Dale Earnhardt and pretty much told them that if they wreck each other one more time, then further penalties will be established. Fortunately, no more of it happened and things have been settled down. This race ended up being one of the largest races in recent memory in NASCAR. There are so many different storylines taking place, so let's just take a look at everything that's going down. First of all, we've talked about the legends already. Ricky Rudd, Dale Earnhardt, and Rusty Wallace are all finishing their rides in their careers. But that's not all. There are a few other drivers that are having their last, and we'll talk about that in the starting lineups. The second story is the rookies. We have 4 drivers all making either their first, second, third, fourth, or fifth starts in 2005. We'll talk more individually on each of those drivers, and we will figure out who is making their first debut and who do we think is going to make a big impact in NASCAR in the future. The last and probably the biggest story is the championship. At this point, the chase is only in its second year, and so far it has been a success. Here is the top 10 so far. At this point, 3 drivers have a shot at the championship, and those 3 being Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Those 3 are the only ones mathematically eligible to win the championship. Tony Stewart has had a strong season so far, and it'll take a good mess up from him for something to happen. Will it happen? That and several other questions are going to get answered in the next 267 laps. Let's take a starting lineup here for the Ford 400, the final race of the 2005 Nextel Cup season. Starting on the pole is Ryan Newman in the 02 Altel Dodge. It is announced that after the 2005 season, Ryan Newman will switch numbers from 02 to 12. And alongside him is title contender Tony Stewart. Row 2 is Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy had a strong run in 2005, and he's looking to bounce up on that and hopefully win a championship in 2006. Alongside him is Jeremy Mayfield. Mayfield had a solid season, but looks to improve in 2006 as well. Another title contender, Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon is looking for a 5th championship, and Michael Waltrip starts alongside him. Michael Waltrip, along with all the other DEI cars, are plastering the E on the side of their cars to commemorate Earnhardt's farewell season. Joe Nemechek in the Valvoline number 10 Chevrolet, and Dale Earnhardt Jr., the 3rd and final title contender, starts in 8th. Jamie McMurray in the Haviland Dodge, and alongside him, Elliott Sadler. Greg Biffle in the National Guard Ford, and Jerry Nadeau in the U.S. Army Chevrolet. Dale Earnhardt in a special paint scheme to commemorate his final race, and Dale Jarrett in the UPS Ford. Dale Jarrett is going to drive the UPS Ford for at least one more season, but it is not sure whether he will race in 2007 afterward. Kevin Harvick in the number 30 Reese's Chevrolet. Reese's comes over and becomes the full-time sponsor for Kevin Harvick. And Scott Riggs driving the Nesquik Ford. Nesquik becomes a sponsor for half of the races in 2005. Bobby Labonte in his final race for Joe Gibbs Racing, and Casey Mears in the Nicorette Dodge. Matt Kenseth in the DeWalt Ford, and Jeff Green in the Whole Grain Dodge. Rookie of the Year winner Kyle Busch and Carl Edwards. Carl is in his 4th start, and he will drive the 99 car next year, replacing Jeff Burton. Steve Park in his final race for Dale Earnhardt, and Brian Vickers in the Ditech.com Chevrolet. Kurt Busch in the Sharpie Ford. This will be Kurt Busch's final race for Roush Racing. It is unsure though where he will go next year. And Jeff Burton. Jeff is also in his final ride in his final season at Roush Racing. Jeff Burton is signed to drive the 3 car next year, replacing Dale Earnhardt. The sponsor of that car is to be determined. Sterling Marlin in the Coors Light Dodge. Sterling Marlin is also going to be done in that car. David Stremme is going to replace him. It is unsure where Marlin is going to go next year, but he is up for racing next year. And alongside him, Scott Wimmer. Wimmer is also not going to be in the 22 car next year. Rusty Wallace in his final ride here at Homestead, driving the Last Call Dodge, and Dave Blaney in the 31 Singular Chevrolet. Travis Waffle in his rookie season, driving the Kodak Dodge, and Denny Hamlin, he's going to drive the 11 FedEx car next season. Jason Leffler drove the 11 car for the majority of races, but Denny is going to replace him in 2006. Ricky Rudd in his farewell season in the 21 Motorcraft Ford, and Mike Bliss in the Best Buy Chevrolet. Kyle Petty in the Brawny Dodge, and alongside him, Casey Kane. Martin Truex Jr. in the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. Martin is going to replace Steve Park in the 1 car in 2006, and Ken Schrader in the Schwann's Dodge. Mike Skinner in the 23 car for Bill Davis Racing, and Reed Sorensen. Reed Sorensen is going to replace Casey Mears in the 41 car next season. Clint Boyer in the Sylvania 33 car for Richard Childress Racing. Clint Boyer is going to replace Dave Blaney in the 31 car next season, and Bill Elliott in a 3rd Ray Everham car. This is Bill Elliott's final race for Everham Motorsports. Bill is going to attempt some part-time races next season, but he's going to do it for a different team. That team is to be announced. And starting 43rd is Jimmy Spencer in the Arnold Motorsports Dodge. Pace car is pulling in. We are going to have the final 267 laps of 2005. Who is going to be the winner tonight, and who is going to be the champion of 2005? We are about to find out. Ryan Newman leads them slow to the green flag. It is out, and we are racing here for the final time in 2005. Ryan Newman takes an early lead down the back straightaway. Two and 3 wide through turn 3 and 4 as Jimmy Johnson takes a look to the low side of Ryan Newman, and Johnson will clear him down the front straightaway to lead lap 1. Tony Stewart goes way up on the track, but he gets it going down the back straightaway. Jeff Gordon is the lead car, but Tony Stewart still has the point lead. Dale Jr. goes underneath Tony Stewart, but a lot needs to happen in order for Dale Earnhardt Jr. to win the championship. Dale Jr. makes his way up to 2nd position as Jimmy Johnson leads the pack, Jeff Gordon 3rd, Dale Earnhardt Sr. in 4th. Kyle Busch has to make an unscheduled pit stop. He ends up having a flat left rear tire. There's no debris and the caution does not come out. However, the first caution does come out as Jimmy Spencer flies in the air and collects Mike Skinner. Jimmy Spencer would end up having steering issues, hit the inside wall, and goes to the garage. First round of pit stops happen and Jimmy Johnson leads him out. On the restart, it's Jimmy Johnson, Dale Earnhardt, Tony Stewart, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. your top 4. Jimmy Johnson has to make an unexpected pit stop. He also has a left rear tire. Could this be a problem for all of Hendrick Motorsports? Kyle Busch gets into Dale Earnhardt. Could this possibly be a reignition of their rivalry? 4 wide through turn number 2. Senior, Junior, and teammates Kyle Busch and Jeff Gordon ride down the back straightaway. They keep going, no caution. The top 3 in points are 1, 2, 3 as Dale Earnhardt Jr. looks underneath Tony Stewart and Dale Jr. will take the lead. Something needs to happen to Tony Stewart though if Jr. has a chance. Lap traffic as Dale Jr. gets to Mike Skinner. This opens up the door for Tony Stewart and Tony Stewart takes the lead away from Dale Earnhardt Jr. Ryan Newman looks underneath Jeff Gordon for a second in turn number 1. Albie gets in the wall. There we go. Trouble in turn 1. Ryan Newman spins out. He tries to keep going. Oh, and Mike Bliss gets into him. Ken Schrader involved. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Petty all wreck in turn number 1. Ryan Newman is done for the day, as well as Denny Hamlin. Pit stops and Tony Stewart leads him out. Jeff Gordon in second. And as the case on the restart, Tony Stewart is the leader, Jeff Gordon second, Matt Kenseth third, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in fourth. Elliott Sadler is in fifth. Matt Kenseth ends up taking the lead. Dale Jr. is the highest point guy in third. This wouldn't be for long as Rusty Wallace in his final career race goes underneath Matt Kenseth for the lead. Elliott Sadler gets into the wall, Tony Stewart and Kyle Busch react, and Kurt Busch goes into the inside wall. That'll bring out the caution, and that'll be a damper for Kurt Busch in his final race for Roush Racing. Dale Jr. has a successful pit stop, and he leads him out of pit road. And Dale Jr. will lead him to the restart. Matt Kenseth in second, Jamie McMurray third, Rusty Wallace fourth, and Kevin Harvick fifth. Matt Kenseth ends up taking the lead away from Dale Jr. Jamie McMurray follows suit in second position. Tony Stewart ends up getting a good run through turn 3 and 4, and that would be enough to pass Matt Kenseth for the lead as well. There is definitely some good racing in this race. Green flag pit stops began as Dale Jr. decides to take an early lead down pit road, and everybody follows suit. With still lots of racing to go, here's the running order in the Ford 400. Dale Jr. was able to get by Matt Kenseth for the first position. That wouldn't be for long. Clint Bowyer falls a lap down, and that ends up having a big battle for the lead as Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, Dale Jarrett, and Jeff Burton were able to pass Dale Jr. for spots. But Dale Jr. was able to fight back, and there was a close 3-wide battle for the lead. Dale Jr. leads the cars down on pit road again for a second round of green flag pit stops. Pit road becomes a busy place. Lots of cars, fortunately no contact, and everything is clean so far. Battle for a spot as Matt Kenseth goes underneath Tony Stewart. Matt Kenseth gets into Tony Stewart. Oh my god, no! Tony Stewart gets into the backstretch wall hard down the back straightaway. This could damper his chances at the championship. Tony Stewart in smoke, Jimmy Johnson involved, Matt Kenseth also involved. This is huge. Jimmy Johnson gets going, more cars are involved. Elliott Sadler involved, several cars. Is that Jeff Gordon involved? Is that Jeff Gordon involved? Yes, that's him down the inside. That is huge. That is so huge. Both Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart are taken out. This is a huge, huge opportunity for Dale Earnhardt Jr. to win. Will it be enough? Can Dale Jr. hold on? Because at this moment, Dale Jr. is the point leader. But can Dale Jr. hold on? Now this situation gets a little weird as this was in the middle of pit stops. Greg Biffle is the only car on the lead lap at the moment. The way how the pit stops worked, everybody else made their pit stop except for Biffle. Biffle made his. He's now at the tail end of the field. Everyone else is on the tail end of the lead lap. So Biffle can pass all the cars and make him fall a lap down. So right now, he is the leader, and right now, he is the only car, technically at the moment, on the lead lap. Unfortunately, his dream didn't become real as a caution happens on the back straightaway involving Carl Edwards, Scott Riggs, Joe Nemechek, Brian Vickers, and numerous others. Greg Biffle ends up making his pit stop, but he was able to pit with the rest of the field, so he does keep the lead. On the restart, it is Greg Biffle, Dale Jr., Rusty Wallace, Dale Jarrett in the top 4. It didn't take long as Rusty Wallace was able to get around Greg Biffle. Wallace had the more powerful car that day. A couple of old veterans have battled out for the lead. Dale Jarrett underneath Rusty Wallace, and Dale Jr. is in third. If he keeps it, that is enough for Dale Jr. to win the championship in 2005. Lap down traffic scuttled things up as Dale Jarrett almost gets into Ken Schrader. Dale Jarrett ends up staying in the lead. Dale Jr. gets by both of them, and Dale Jr. has a run on turn number 1. Well, that doesn't matter because the caution comes out and Dale Earnhardt Sr. gets in the wall. He loses it in turn 3. Dale Earnhardt tries to keep going, but his own car gets into him, Martin Truex Jr. So just like Richard Petty, Earnhardt's final race ends up in a crash. He does drive it to the garage, he is okay, but it is definitely a somber way to end his career. Thank you, Dale Earnhardt, for everything that you've done, and we'll miss you. On the restart, it's the Dale and Dale show, except it's Dale Jarrett and Dale Jr. now. Dale Jr. did not get going though, and Rusty Wallace is able to get a run on Dale Jarrett. Down the back straightaway, Rusty Wallace is trying to get around Dale Jarrett, and we got lap traffic. That is Ken Schrader. Rusty Wallace looks to the inside of Jarrett, and Wallace uses lap traffic to his advantage. Rusty Wallace gets around Dale Jarrett, and that could settle it. In Rusty Wallace's final race of his career, can Rusty Wallace end up finishing it? 1 lap to go. Can Dale Jarrett mess up a run? Can Dale Jr. do anything? Because unless something happens to Jr., this is his championship. Down the back straightaway, Rusty Wallace, one last time, can go to victory lane. Dale Jr. does not have a run. Rusty Wallace, the 1989 champion, is going to end on a high note. Rusty Wallace wins the 2005 Ford 400 here at Homestead. What a finish. What a way to end the 2005 season. It is going to be a whole new chapter for sure. Now, congrats to Rusty Wallace, but the bigger picture. Little E, Dale Earnhardt Jr., two-time Busch champion, is able to finally win his first Nextel Cup championship. And Dale Earnhardt is able to see it happen. It is an amazing way to end. You cannot script this any better. It is the perfect way to end the season. 2006 is going to change for sure. New faces in new places. That'll get settled when the time comes. Here is the final point standings, and this is the top 10 if the chase. And then here are the list of winners in 2005. So, an amazing season with an amazing conclusion. Dale Jr. claims his first ever Nextel Cup championship, and it will be interesting to see how far in his career could he go. Can he succeed? Can he be better than his father in number of wins and number of championships? So far, he has the way to go. And now that his dad is full-time owner next year, Dale Jr. can learn a lot from his father. So that is all for 2005. And that is all for Dale Earnhardt. So here's the plan for the next two videos. So because of all the changes that you've seen happen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the timeline go all the way up to today, which is 2016. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to split it into two videos. First part will be from 2006 to 2010, which is the immediate future and how much that is affected. And then the second video will be 2011 to 2016. That'll be the extended future. Where does everyone go? How is it affected? Does Dale Jr. ever end up going to Hendrick Motorsports? All those answers will be in the next couple of videos. Now, I do apologize that the videos are not coming out as frequent as they were before. If you saw in part 4, I am in school. I am a senior in college right now. I will get my degree in May, and then in June, I am free, and I plan to expand my channel. I plan to expand Griff Dog Productions, and I want to express what I think of NASCAR. And I want to use this channel to really really make NASCAR a better place, because I can tell NASCAR is not what it used to be, and I get it. NASCAR will never be what it used to be, but there are definitely some subtle changes that can happen so that NASCAR could be an awesome sport. And coming from me, who has watched it since I was 5, like, it can happen, because I honestly believe that the competition can be better, and there's definitely a better way, because in this day and age, people as a whole do not want to travel far for like a sporting event. It just costs too much, and people just can't afford it these days. So we gotta find ways so that NASCAR can be a possible, like, it should be enjoyable. It shouldn't be complicated. It should be enjoyable. I won't get too specific now, but I am a full supporter of NASCAR, and I can definitely see what they're trying to do, but I can also find ways to even make it that more successful. So thank you for watching all these parts. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for just everything that you guys have done. I am truly blessed to have this channel, and I'm truly blessed to keep this going. I'm sorry that our videos are not going to be as frequent now, but my goal is when I graduate in June, that should be fixed, and my goal is to at least have a video come out once a week. And I'll definitely do more what ifs, like, what if Adam Petty never died? What if Kenny Irwin Jr. never died? There are other ones, like, what if some racetracks that fell, what if they didn't fall? Like, what if Memphis was still a racetrack? What if Pikes Peak still raced? Yeah, and there are several different ideas that I could roll with. And also, I still will do NASCAR shorts as well, just doing random moments, like different mods, different car sets, different years, different tracks, different shorts. Like, there are so many different ideas that I can run with, and it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome, but it's not going to happen immediately. So guys, thank you for all of the support. Thank you for the patience. Thank you for talking, and thank you for being there. Thank you. So until next time, this is Griff Dog Productions saying thank you, and I'll see you next time.